Hello, some friends. My name is Carrie Jessica. Welcome to my channel. I am your friendly neighborhood silver-haired simmer, the mom of the neighborhood that spend as much, if not more, screen time than the kids. Today, no exception. We're gonna hop into a little bit of a CAS challenge, and even though I really feel like I don't know, like I have an automatic a cringe type of a thing when I hear YouTubers like, let's do a little catch up. But I do kind of want to have a little catch up, so we're just going to chit chat while we mess around in CAS. And I have a very interesting CAS that I want to do. So we have our very, very beautiful Hadley, who is our purple gen from Not So Very. If you want to check out that, I will put a thing here. And she met this young man that I was so in love with, but she wasn't. I don't really know what the deal. I don't know what's it. She didn't find him attractive, or she met Ray. I don't really know what, but we did not end up with him. And I've always wondered, what if? Just what if? So we're gonna see what if. So I have given them a baby. We're gonna do a little Susie and up with the baby, and then we'll do child up to teenager. So I had like just over a month off, and I didn't intend for that to happen. So here's what's been going on with me. I have a chronic illness. It's called dysautonomia. I'll put a thing here. It's when your autonomic nervous system just does whatever the hell it wants to do, and often it's not the right thing. So usually it makes, again, distraction, it makes my body, like the way it used to affect me is my body was slow. My blood pressure would be really low, my heart rate would be really low, I would be really cold. It took a long time for me to digest food, all kinds of stuff like that. If there's anything along the way that you're like, hey, what was that you used? Let me know and I can go back and pull it for you. Lost my train of thought again. So what would happen to me is I would get really cold. Everything would slow down. Well, I've got a new thing where like everything revved up. I think it's when like premenopause really hit and like my hormones shifted, because instead of being like cold and slow, I'm like fast. Like my heart rate is intense. My blood pressure is really high. I get really hot really easy, and I can't like bring it down. Like it's kind of a wreck. So all of that was going on. Also, while all of this is going on, just like generally in my life, I have 4 kids. My third child, yeah, my younger son, he just graduated high school. So we were kind of doing like graduation things. From the middle of the year on, like the school year last year, obviously I knew he was graduating, and I was actually feeling like a champ. A lot of my friends who have like all of the parents of the kids, like, they were showing a little stress, and I was like, I'm actually doing okay. I'm doing okay. Well, all of a sudden it like hit me. Instead of like dealing with it a little at a time, it like hit me like a ton of bricks. So like my body's going absolutely freaking berserk. My baby child is leaving me, and for some like comparison, my oldest is almost 30, but they went to college in the town that I live in, and they still live here. In fact, they were just here. They came over yesterday, stayed the night, left this morning. And then my next oldest, he's literally like, he rides his bike to my house. His house is across the street from his college campus and his middle school. Like that's how like my husband works at the college that he goes to school at. So I've had this really like bubbled, unique experience where my older kids that have graduated, like they went to school here, they still live here. Anyway, this kiddo, he's a very talented musician. We're talking like he got into a school. I'm not gonna say the school because like let's not stalk my kid, but it's like equivalent to Juilliard. It's not Juilliard, but it is the Juilliard of what he does. So it's not in my state. It's not 7 minutes around the corner. So he's gonna leave the state. Let me cry.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
So he's gonna leave the state. He's moving away, and that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks right around graduation time. Right before graduation, my smaller dog, I'm sweating so much, my glasses are falling off my face. My smaller dog was actually significantly older than my big dog. She was a little mini golden doodle, I guess medium-sized golden doodle, and I loved her so. Her little name was Maggie. She was old. She died of age-related stuff that was just, it was what it was. It was her time, and it hit me really hard because that dog was kind of like my soul dog, I guess you would say. That was the first dog I had that I don't know, I just like really connected with, you know what I mean? Like I just freaking loved this dog so much. And she passed, and it was really hard, but she was old, and like we'd already been talking with the vet about, end of life care. So like it wasn't a surprise. So it was kind of, in that sense, a little bit like I was prepared, I guess, but it was still freaking hard. It freaks me out when they have no teeth. It was hard. It was hard. My little heart was hurt. And then it was like immediately thrown into like getting ready for graduation stuff. Well, as all of that was happening, my older dog had a vet appointment, just like, you know, her annual checkup. And to put it a little like background, that dog, I actually, for my chronic illness that's flaring, this bigger dog, Winnie, was my cardiac alert dog. So we were only together for 7 years. We were together for 7 years. Her first 2 years, she was at the service dog training facility. So I had her for 6 years, but I keep saying 6. I had her for 7 years, but she was 9. We went to the vet. She's fine. Everything's great. Like, score, way to go. We go home. Everything's fine. All of a sudden, she gets really sick, and I'm just like, dude, I don't really know what is going on. She just got really sick. So I called the vet and was like, hey, you know, like, she's not really feeling great, and this is what's going on. What are you thinking? And they were like, okay, let's give it, you know, another day, because she was just real tired and wasn't really eating food. So like, it was one of those things that she was very likely to just be fine from. Well, then it continued past the time that, you know, it was like, okay, this is the day. If this is still going on this day, call back. So I called back, was like, hey, we're still in it. So we brought her in, they got her in right away, and they ran a bunch of labs, checked her hydration levels, all that kind of stuff. And she was dehydrated. And when they ran the labs, they came back in and they were like, you know, her calcium is really high. Like, I'm not 100% on the number. Okay, so for a dog, I don't know what like the measurement in like measurement terms is, but like your calcium for her, it was supposed to be 7 and it was 14. Well, 14 to 18 is like emergency issue. So a lot of times it can be cancer that causes that, or it could be this other parathyroid thing that, like, if it's the parathyroid thing, there's actually a surgery that they recover really well from. It's like a very effective surgery. By the time we got the labs had to go to Michigan. By the time we got the labs back and we ruled out like what it was already so high that she was already having issues with her organs. And it was not good. She was very, very, very symptomatic. There are times where a dog can have their calcium level that same height, but they're not very symptomatic. In fact, a lot of times I guess there's no symptoms and you kind of like don't know that it's happening. But she was very symptomatic, and it started to impact her on a neurological level, and it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. She stopped being able to like get up and stuff. I'm not gonna get into detail about it. It was bad. So the day that I found out that that was the case, I had answered the phone literally as I was putting dinner like on the table, and after we ate, we were leaving for graduation. So like, it's already this like, all of these things are happening. Like, I don't feel well. My body's just out of whack. I feel terrible. And my dog is sick. My baby is leaving, even though he's not a baby. And it was just like a really bad timing. And I really had it in my head that I was going to answer the phone. They called because they were just going to be like, everything's fine. And then I was going to be able to go to graduation. It was all going to be like, whew, that was scary. But that wasn't what happened. So I couldn't make any decisions like that day because I was kind of a wreck about the whole situation. So, by the way, I'm not doing like the orange gen would have been the gen that this baby would be, but I'm not doing it for that. We're just doing it kind of for funsies. Actually, I think she's really, really cute. Let me get her some little nails, and that's kind of all I care about as far as like, because we're just gonna age her up. So things are not going well. Things are not going as planned. Let's give you a little personality. You are a little wiggly kiddo. Okay, so let's go ahead and make her a child. We're skipping over toddler. It's kind of the same. We're gonna go to child. So I go to graduation. I don't tell I told my husband, but like, I'm not telling the kids. Like, it was not the time. You know what I mean? Not the time. So I'm freaking out and trying to like keep it together, and I'm already emotional about graduation, and then I have this new extra thing, and it was a lot. I was like combusting on the inside. Because again, she's my service dog. So like, this is a dog that not only did I have for 7 years, but like went everywhere with me for years and years and years. Went to work with me, has seen me through like all kinds of different things. And it was unexpected. Like, yeah, she was like on the vert, like she was 9, so it's like the beginning of senior, but like not, she wasn't, this shouldn't have happened. This was an out of the blue thing. So all that happened. My baby has graduated. We're actually going to do some onboarding stuff here in a little bit. I'm so distracted again. Oh, baby, you, my, how you've aged. She's actually adorable. That did not do her justice. So, and you had black hair. So we get through, you know, all of the graduation stuff. He has, you know, like the weekend of his, you know, graduation events and parties and things. And then after that kind of calms down, I don't know why it just got dark in my room. After that kind of calms down, then, you know, we made the decision and, you know, told the kids like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We made it for like far enough out to where the vet felt like we weren't prolonging things. But on the same note, I wanted to give my baby who's leaving a chance to like have his end of high school experience. You know what I mean? Like, so after that weekend, we told everybody, and you know, we just spent a lot of time loving on and being with and all of that. Well, I had already been looking into dog breeders when my first dog had passed away a couple months ago. And then when I lost the second dog, it was just like, I don't know if I want to do this, but it was a good distraction to like look at puppies. And then we got back from our vet appointment, and you know, I've been a little crybaby, and you know, my husband was sitting on the couch, and he was like, I don't know. He's like, I kind of feel like if we went sooner, that it could be a positive distraction. You know, that it could be good if you're okay with it, if we can find a way to make this feel like a good choice for you. Because I'm the one that's like super, of my husband and I, my kids obviously are super attached, but like of my husband and I, I'm the one that's like gets super attached to the dogs that we have. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I actually think over the summer would be good to have, you know, all of my kids, because like my youngest is 15. So like my kids being home for the summer is super helpful. Like my 15 and my 18-year-old are the ones that still live at home. So it was like, yeah, they can help. It'll be great. So we pick out a puppy. I feel like there's even something that I'm forgetting that was going on with me at the same time, but like I don't even know. There was just so much happening. I felt very like underwater. So we've been looking at puppies. I know that this really threw me. I like got scared, the puppy treats. I went from a conversation of being like, I don't know if I'm even like gonna be ready anytime soon, to like I am going to be ready. Like, you know, I was all over the place. But anyway, so we decided we're on the wait list already. We're going to talk about picking a dog from the litter that would be available over the summer. Like, that would have meant right away. Well, we're not quite missing a chin yet, but that does happen to me. Hopefully she ages up, you know, with a whole face. So I'm going to give her green eyes. I don't know why.
People say it's buffering. Others are saying it's not.
Yeah, my train of thought is something, huh? I've reached out to the breeder. We're talking about like, you know, this is what's going on. The timing feels a little rushed, but it also kind of feels good. Like, you know, what are your thoughts kind of thing? And, you know, the breeder was like, yeah, like it works both ways. People do both things. So, I said like, well, you know, if I was going to do it now, this is the puppy I'd be interested in. And as much as it is about looks, because like puppies are adorable, it's actually more about temperament. So I waited for the temperament test and was like, this is the one I have my eye on. The temperament lines up to what I look for in a dog. So I had that conversation, and then seemingly for me, out of nowhere, because like, again, I'm the dog person, my husband isn't really so much, he leans over and says, what if we just get two and go through the puppy phase like at the same time? Because those will probably be the last, like it'll be the last 2 dogs we get for quite some time. And I was like, be for real right now. Like, be for real. There's a lot of issues with litter mates, but I have like always had dogs and I really enjoy training dogs. So he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay. So we talked to the breeder, and again, this is not really like the best thing to do, to be quite honest. It's a lot of work. So after the breeder and, you know, we spoke, and the breeder felt comfortable that like I knew what I was getting into, and, you know, had already like kind of knew the ways in which, you know, are the best to set up litter mates as far as like alone time, separate time, training plans, like that kind of stuff. So we picked out our puppies. Again, I'll be showing pictures as we go here, but like they're absolutely adorable. Their names are Crapper, Graham for like graham cracker, and Maple from maple syrup. We went through so many names. By the time we finally were like, people were mutually like, I can tolerate this. Like this isn't on my absolutely no list. By the time we did that, it was so long going back and forth with names that my youngest daughter, Ollie, she's been in a video before. I'll like put it up here somewhere. She goes by Ollie now. That's a different name in that video. But she and I were just like, we're gonna go to PetSmart right now and get tags made. So we went, we got tags made because we were like, we need to solidify this because like it was a lot of back and forth. She's adorable. Let's go ahead and age her up one more time. She's gonna be a teenager. Stop it. She's beautiful. Babe, you're gorgeous. You're so cute. Okay, that kind of looked funky when you were yawning or something. You've clearly got some different custom content going than what we'll be keeping on. But oh my gosh, you're so cute. Oh, you are beautiful. Your little purple eyes. Okay, I was going green, but like you really did that. Maybe like, you know, she's a teenager now. Maybe she's all like up, got some purple contacts. This sim is so cute. I'm definitely gonna have to like save her to my library to have her pop in. I will save her under #SilverhairSimmer as well. If you're not familiar, that is a hashtag you can use if you want to make a sim for me to drop into any of my Let's Plays. What I do is I check that hashtag and then I save them in my library, and then my MC Command Center pulls sims from my library into my game without me having to do it. If you want to watch MC Command Center, that's how I do it. I'll put a video linky thing there. So yeah, they'll show up kind of like randomly throughout my LPs, but I will also, if they're like made for a specific scenario with a specific generation for either Not So Berry or Star Sign, I will add those into that gen and kind of like see what happens. So far, the best, most like that's not a competition. The best case, like seeing it play out, was my sim, my Plum Jen fell in love with one of the sims that one of you guys made, and his name was Ray, and his genetics has made my game so good because all of their kids are gorgeous. I kind of like this little lip tint, like maybe not like a full lipstick, just a little tint. So yes, that's what's been going on for me. I just haven't really like, it felt very much like as soon as I kind of got like okay with one thing, the next thing was starting, and like I never really got on my feet. Thank you for hanging out with me while we just like breezed through making a sim that was the easiest sim I have ever made, because she needed nothing from me. It just proves that this kid's genetics needed to be in my game. It just needed to be. So, if you have not already, give this video a like and drop a comment. Those things help my channel. Very much appreciate it. After this, we're about to hop into the Not So Berry household, and I am just going to drop a little tea, a little spoiler. The last time I left off in that save, I actually went back in yesterday. It was like a month later. I went in because I kind of wanted to refresh, like, where are we even at? And I wanted to make sure that, like, because it had been so long, like, did she have things to do before work to try to set her up the best? And she did. So I was like, all right, let me knock these things out real quick, get her off to work. Well, something happened while I was doing that, which normally I would have just like logged out, like nothing would have happened. Like it literally was just like, here, let's do these things and get you sent off. Well, something happened, and I didn't want to mess with it. So I did hit save. So when we got back in, we have something going on that is pretty intense, pretty life-changing, life-altering, if you will. So that's gonna be the next video I have up. So if you have not already, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you are not already subscribed, there's a bell for notifications so you know when I create new content. Usually I like to have videos like anywhere from like 2 to 3, sometimes even if when I'm feeling it 4 times a week. I usually don't take a month off. Hopefully we're done with that part of it. Again, if you want to follow the puppies, I will put that down below. Again, it is Maple and Graham, and they are super cute mini party colored golden doodles, and I love them. They are adorable. And again, stay tuned. Not So Berry. Things are getting a little fast and furious, if you will. All right, guys, I will see you in a couple of days. Bye.